Hi, everyone. I'm Mandy Ng, and I'm the editor of Chickadee Magazine. Today, I'm going to be talking with Kendra Brown, the author of the book, Small But Mighty, Why Earth's Tiny Creatures Matter, and illustrated by Catarina Oliveira. Hi, welcome, Kendra. How are you today?
I am great. Thanks for having me here to chat.
I'm so excited to talk to you about your book. So let's just get started. Tell us about Small But Mighty.
Small But Mighty is about, small but mighty animals on our planet. It looks at 12 different creatures, including a bug the size of a jelly bean to a frog the size of a quarter, and the ways in which these little creatures contribute and help our environment thrive.
Awesome. And what attracted you to this subject matter of small animals?
So I have always been a big animal lover, a nature lover for sure. But for a long time, I think when people would talk about saving animals and our planet, they often just look towards the big guys and the cute and cuddly ones, the polar bears, the pandas, the tigers, who I definitely love and want to save as well. I want to save every creature on the planet and to save our Earth. And I think that's the thing, that every creature on the planet matters. And in some ways, it's the tiny ones that matter the most. And, without the ants and the bees and the millipedes doing their things in the soil and krill in the ocean, we would be in a lot of trouble. We know a lot better now, and we know that it's all about biodiversity. Diversity is the key to a healthy environment, and every species, no matter how small, matters, and they have a role to play. And so when I started to learn more about this, I thought, oh yeah, that's a story that we need to tell, and we need to talk about a lot more, that every single creature on the planet matters. Including us as well, including you and me, which is also what attracted me to this subject matter, because I want all the young people out there who may sometimes feel small and unimportant to know that that is absolutely not true. Your voice, your actions, all of it matters. And we do make a difference in this world. So those are the big reasons why I was attracted to this subject matter and wanted to write this book.
So have you always been interested in science?
No. No. Or, well, at least I didn't think that I was interested in science, but it turns out that animals and nature, and just being a curious person in general, is science. I just didn't know this when I was younger, but yeah, science is everywhere. The neat thing is that I've come kind of full circle, and I'm now getting to, write and work on the science topics that I was interested in as a kid, not as a scientist, of course, but as a writer, which is very cool. And I get to work with scientists now as well when I'm doing my research and writing, which is awesome.
Well, speaking of research, how much research did you have to do for this book, and what kind of research?
So I had to do a lot of research, yes. A lot of it, though, I had already done before I started writing the book, because I am always reading nonfiction books, encyclopedias, reference books about animals and nature, and watching documentaries, which is also when I started to learn about these animals and decided that I might want to write a book about them. But once I actually, decided and was, figured out I was going to write this book, I really had to dive in, reading lots and lots of books. I also did a lot of research online, of course, and I got to speak to experts and scientists to help me verify all of the facts in the books, because I am a bit of an expert, but I needed the extra expertise of the scientists to help me. So that was part of the research as well. So books, online, and speaking with actual people.
So which are some of the favorite creatures in this book, and why?
That is such a hard question, because I love all of them, but I do have two favorites. The first is the tardigrade, who I don't know about this tardigrade. They are also known as water bears or moss piglets, which It's like the most super cute nickname ever. And it may be a reason why I love them so much, but also because they're survivors. Most are smaller than a grain of sand, yet they can survive in almost any condition on Earth and in outer space, which I just find so incredible. And scientists are learning a lot from these creatures and their survival skills. So that's number one. And number two is the least weasel. It's about as long as a strand of spaghetti or a chopstick, and it weighs less than a banana. It's considered the most, or one of the most aggressive carnivores on Earth, which is so impressive for a tiny little weasel. But yeah, it is a really, really seriously skilled hunter. And it preys on rodents, and which helps keep the rodent populations under control, which is something that's really important in Europe and North America where they live, because rodents are known to spread disease and destroy crops. So they, have these really super cool, impressive skills, but they also help us too. And that's an animal that I didn't know about before I started writing the book. And then I learned about it and I thought, yes, the least weasel needs to be in this book.
You're the ambassador of the least weasel.
I could be the ambassador. That will be my next job. Yes.
Well, one more question. Any advice for kids that are interested in reading or writing about science?
Sure. So I think the best advice is, of course, to just read and read a lot, but also to ask a lot of questions. Ask questions before you start reading, ask questions while you're reading, and ask questions after you're reading. Just don't stop asking questions, because science always starts with a question. How does it work? Why does it work? Is that fact I heard even true? It's so important to always question. I think another thing is to try to enjoy the process or the journey you go on as you're trying to find the answers, no matter how long it takes, because it might take a long time. So try to enjoy that process, and give yourself time to find your path and your voice when it comes to writing. Remember that science is everywhere, and I think just stay curious.
Well, that was a really great answer. So thank you so much for speaking to me today about your mighty, interesting book, Kendra.
Nope.
And happy reading, kids. Bye.